Good morning, everybody. It is Tuesday morning, January 10th. So I assume most of you, or a lot of you, know that we are in Mercury Retrograde right now. I find myself explaining that to people at my desk a lot, but I literally had the effects of Mercury Retrograde happen to me yesterday. And I'm going to tell you what happened. Frankly, I'm not looking for advice on this. I want to use my own guidance system to figure out how to handle this somewhat awkward situation. But there is a particular guy that comes into my office a lot. And I'm going to say there is some appreciation and respect that goes between the two of us. I see him as pretty close to a divine masculine as a lot, as can be, as someone that potentially I could be interested in, but nothing has ever happened. And it's not the one that I was talking about getting a hug from. This is another one. There's like 3 guys that come into my office that I see as somebody that I would potentially be interested in dating or whatever. But that being said, I'm not going to do anything about it. So he was in yesterday, and he said his mom had a therapy session or something. I assume like a physical therapy session, and he had a few minutes to kill. So he stopped by the office and he had some paperwork that he needed to sign, and he asked if I would print it out for him. And he does somewhat big business in our office. He's in commercial real estate, so some of the things that he does is millions of dollars, not hundreds of dollars. And so of course I'm going to, help him out as I would anybody else that came in and needed something like that. So I printed it off, he went in and signed it, and I scanned it and everything, and we were done with that whole thing in like 10 minutes. And he's like, wow, thank you so much. And he goes, I got to run out to the car. I need to take something out to the car. I'll be right back. And so he goes out and he comes back and he goes, I got a bunch of these at Christmas, and you are always there for us. And I just want to say thank you. And he hands me a gift card in like the sleeve, like when you get a gift card from a restaurant or something, it's kind of in a container. And I opened it up. It had the receipt in there. It was for $100, but there was no gift card. And I know that if he knew there was no gift card, he would be absolutely horrified that he gave me that. But truly, it is the thought that counts. So yesterday afternoon, I was like, oh my God, I'm like, I can't say anything to him about this. I don't want to embarrass him. But at the same time, I'm thinking, if I went to that extra effort and gave somebody, granted it was regifting, but it was $100 gift card to a bunch of restaurants around town. I'd want to know if I gave something that was broke, I guess. I don't know. So anyway, I have been thinking, this morning when I was getting ready, I was like, okay, now I see what's happened here. This is Mercury retrograde at work, because Mercury retrograde affects communication. It also affects technology, but it affects communication where you can't get your words out. The other day on the phone, I had somebody on hold, and usually I will say, thanks for holding, how can I help you? And then that particular one, I was like on speed, I think, and I said, how can I hold you? And I've done that 2 or 3 times, and me and the person on the other end get a very, very good laugh of that. And she goes, something about hold me softly, and I don't know, whatever it was. She had a great comeback, and we laughed, had a really good laugh about that. That is Mercury retrograde, in full effect, words coming out wrong. And I guess people giving gift cards with no gift card in it when they were making a kind gesture. So I guess he's supposed to come back in on Friday. And I feel like the universe has given me this puzzle, here, we want to see how you handle this. We want to see how good you are at communication in an awkward situation. And I'm like, so I guess I have 3 days, 4 days to think about it and figure out how to do it as nonchalantly as possible. Try not to embarrass him at the same time, and make it, because frankly, I laughed about it all day yesterday, and I told some of the people in the office about it, and we all got a good laugh out of it. So, it just was like very, very kind of him to give me that in the first place, But anyway, so that is a little bit of what's going on. Is Mercury retrograde is affecting me, as well as that full moon from last weekend. It seems to have hit a lot of people, because I got a message from my Hungarian girlfriend last night, and she asked me if I was really emotional over the weekend. And I was like, no, mine happened on Wednesday, a couple of days before the full moon. But apparently she spent a lot of time crying over the weekend. And I said, it's a full moon. My understanding is there's a lot of releasing going up, and things, unhealed wounds coming up, staring you at the face for you to look at. Have you fixed this problem, or is it still an issue? So I got home from work last night. I ended up talking to 4 different people on the phone. They were all kind of short conversations. I called 2 people, and 2 people reached out to me. But a lot of what we were talking about was this full moon that hit, my little meltdown that I had last Wednesday, and trying to understand what that was all about. And I know that it was some unhealed wounds, some abandonment issues, people making fun of me, or feeling like people are making fun of me for different reasons. So one of the conversations I had last night was, this is how you can tell you are healing. I think it's something that goes on for probably our whole lifetime. But, in the old days, I would have stewed over something for a week, and I might have cried about it for several days. And as you heal, the length of time that you stew in whatever happened shortens. So it comes down and comes down and comes down. And so now I can, usually if something happens, I will know. I can pinpoint it relatively fast. A lot of times I can do a quick meditation, and I do like a counseling session on myself, I guess. What caused this? Where did it come from? How did it make me feel? Blah, 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 blah. And usually I can diffuse that relatively quick, or I will know there's some sort of emotion stewing around in my system. And like Wednesday, I called Nicole and I said, I know I've already texted you all of this stuff, but there's still stuff bothering me. And I said, I think if I can talk this out, I can get the rest of this out of my system. And I did. Sometimes just talking it through with a person and hearing yourself explain it can diffuse that negative emotion or whatever that's kind of going on, that may be causing a little bit of trauma or whatever in your system. But as you heal, it diffuses a lot faster. It might last an hour, it might last a day, but it doesn't last a week, the more you heal. So that was a conversation that I had last night as well. So if any of you guys were affected by that full moon, and you had some of that negative, maybe emotional charge of, finding yourself in the same unhealthy relationship, same unhealthy thought patterns, whatever it is, ask yourself this: how long did you stay in that? Did you stay in it for a day, or did you stay in it for 4 days? That kind of tells you right there where you are on your healing path. The quicker you get out of that, the better off you are. And when something comes up, then you can get it out and move on. So this thing that happened yesterday, I guess, is for me, again, a test of how good am I at having an awkward conversation. So I guess we'll see. And again, I'm not looking for advice. I want to figure this out on my own, and figure out how to handle it delicately, and and not, I don't know. That's just weird. I've never been in this situation, so I'll figure it out, and let you know how it went, if anything. So anyway, that is it. I would be interested to know how the full moon affected you. Did you have stuff come up, and how quickly did it come in and out? I can see on Telegram right now, I can see comments that people are making to me where they are misreading maybe what I said. And that's another form of Mercury retrograde at its best, is people taking things the wrong way. You meant this, they took it another way. So I can see that kind of going on, but just be aware of that. I also heard Mars is in retrograde, and one of my girlfriends said that is where a lot of the tiredness is coming from. I was exhausted like all day Saturday and about 2/3 of Sunday, so exhausted to the point where I was like, I was wondering if I was starting to get sick. I was also thinking on Sunday about calling in sick on Monday if I felt this way. And then it kind of, whatever it was, the fog lifted 3-4ish on Sunday evening, and then I felt fine yesterday. And I mean, I had a really good day at work yesterday. So I don't know. Did you guys feel that heavy weight of something over the weekend? It might have been Schumann resonance, because I have noticed that my ears have been hissing a lot lately. And I know that affects our bodies negatively a lot, being tired or achy or, whatever. So it does feel like there is a lot of energy coming at us in all forms. And, I kind of feel like I'm like shooting off bullets here all the time, or trying to stop them from hitting me. Anyway, have a great day. I will talk to you later. Brunson case did not, I don't know what's going on with that. I think they knew that was probably going to happen, so they have plan B, and that's probably what they're working on today. But anyway, I'll talk to you later. Bye.